There is an active shooter situation called in this morning.
On the phone with a caller that is hiding under his desk.
Mark, if you turn the camera this way, I want to give people a better understanding of where we are.
There are several hundred people evacuated.
Police snipers on the roof of one of the buildings.
Several gunshots going off.
It was a bang, 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 bang.
Scared, nervous.
03, subject is down.
4 patients involved.
A victim actually plopped down on the sidewalk. He was bleeding.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
The suspect was neutralized. I know you have a million questions, and so do I, and I don't know those answers.
I could have died today, and there are other people that may have died today.
This is News 3 at 6.
A business district in Middleton remains blocked off tonight as police investigate a workplace shooting.
The shooting happened at WTS Paradigm. It is a software company in Middleton near the Greenway Station Shopping Center. News 3 arrived in Middleton moments after the shooting happened.
Our crews are still there tonight gathering new information about this shooting. We turn things over to our colleague Eric Franke. Eric?
Charlotte and Susan, good evening. We are standing just north of Greenway Station Shopping Center in the middle of Deming Way, which is where WTS Paradigm is located at 1850 Deming Way here in Middleton. That call came in just before 10:30 this morning. Within 8 minutes, 4 officers, 2 of them Dane County deputies, 2 of them from the Middleton Police Department, had engaged this suspect. They exchanged gunfire. The suspect was killed as a result of the injuries suffered in that shooting. We do know that 4 people were hurt during the shooting. We know that 2 of them are said to be in serious condition, another critical. Another person did check themselves into St. Mary's Hospital, but they were treated and released for their injuries. We know the suspected shooter was an employee of WTS Paradigm, but we really know very little more at this time about the individual who fired those first shots this morning. Right now, police, we understand, are searching a home on the west side of Madison that is related to this shooting here in Middleton. News 3's Amy Reed joins us now live from that neighborhood. Amy?
Police have moved us back from this neighborhood behind me, and you can see that they have taped off some of these areas and they are asking neighbors to leave. Now, officers and detectives from Madison Police and Dane County Sheriff's Office have been stationed here all afternoon. They told me they are starting a secondary investigation of one of the homes here. Now, they told me that they told people that live around here, this home and some live around this home and some of the construction workers that are doing building around here to leave by 5 and to not come back until 8. We talked to one of those people who was asked to leave, and she said police told her it was in relation to the shooting. She said she knows quite a few of her neighbors, but with it being such a new development, not everyone knows everyone.
It's scary. It's, you know, it's disconcerting to just not know, to think that somebody living behind us was maybe involved in that.
Police told us they are bringing in a tactical team to search one of these homes. They said they don't know what they'll find. That's why it was important for neighbors and us to get a safe distance back. Now, they told us as soon as they finish, they can send out someone to kind of fill us in and let us know what happened. And of course, we'll bring that information right to you as soon as we know it.
All right, Amy Reed reporting live on Madison's west side. Amy, thank you very much. On News 3's Keely Arthur, she was live at the scene right after these shots were fired this morning. She then followed up with this story, reporting live from the Middleton Police Department, where Chief Chuck Folk addressed media about 2 hours ago. She joins us now with the latest. Keely?
Well, Eric, no one ever expected something like this to happen in Middleton, but today it did, and the police were ready for it. Within 8 minutes of that first 911 call, the shooter was taken down, and if it weren't for that quick response, authorities say it could have been a whole lot worse. Now, that first 911 call came in at 10:26 a.m. for WTS Paradigm, and at 10:34, that shooter was taken down by police officers. That shooter did shoot 4 other co-workers. Police Chief Charles Folk says numerous magazines and clips were found on the shooter. Dane County Sheriff Dave Mahoney called it, quote, an arsenal of weapons. Both say without the quick response by officers, far more than just the shooter could be dead.
It was an emotional moment for both Dave and I, because we do train for this, but of course we hope it will never happen. But they did what they were supposed to do, and they did what we trained, and you know, we learned from this stuff, unfortunately.
And that shooter is now dead. An update on the victims: one treated and released, two in serious condition, one in critical. When asked if they're going to all make it through, Chief Folk said he wasn't sure, but we'll be sure to keep you updated on all of their statuses on channel3000.com. Eric?
All right, Keely Arthur reporting live from the Middleton Police Department. Keely, thank you very much. And the chief says WTS Paradigm, which is located a couple hundred yards behind me here, that they'll remain closed for the foreseeable future, at least for another day or so as this investigation continues. Here's what we know about this company. It was founded in 1999. It's unclear exactly how many people work here, but a LinkedIn profile indicates that it employs anywhere from 50 to 200 people. It looks like maybe in the vicinity of 130 to 150 workers. The FBI, which has its resident agency, its resident office located just a short distance from here, they also responded very, very quickly along with state law enforcement. They're both assisting here, Middleton PD, in responding to today's shooting. Our Jamie Perez spoke with some of the workers that were here today. One employee at WTS says he ducked for cover under his desk and feared for his life as those shots were fired. She joins us now live in the studio with more. Jamie?
Eric, well, the man we spoke with is very brave, as you're about to see and hear for yourself. He tells us what was happening when this was all going down and is asking the question that we're all wondering, and that's what's next. When WTS Paradigm employees went into work this morning, it was just another typical Wednesday.
I just didn't expect anything out of the ordinary for sure.
But an employee fired off several rounds of bullets.
Shots were not rapid fire. It was not like brrr. It was just bang, 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 and then bang, bang. So it was just, you could tell that it was kind of calculated shots. It wasn't just spraying around.
But all Drew Beatty heard was his own thoughts racing through his head.
You don't expect an office to get shot to begin with. So it was just one of those things that it took me probably 30 seconds to really understand what was happening or what the noises actually were.
What he heard and saw was enough to put anyone into panic mode.
I was sitting at my desk. I heard, it was probably about 4 to 5 just loud bangs. And at that time, I didn't really process what was happening. So I looked around and then I heard a couple more bangs. And then I saw one of my coworkers just bolt out the door. And then that's when I realized this is a crisis situation.
At the first opportunity of silence, he bolted for the door, where he says one of his own coworkers was injured.
He was on his hands and knees, and you're just saying that he was shot.
Drew got cut up a bit from the broken glass as he was escaping the building. You can see his cuts on his ear and arms. While the physical pain isn't too bad, the emotional impact will be a much longer healing process.
I don't know what the motive was, who's all injured, because of the number of shots, if they were all connecting, and then because I know all of these people, and it's going to directly affect my day-to-day life.
While the investigation continues, Drew's wondering the same thing many of his colleagues are also anxious to know.
What happens next? It's just, from here on, what are the next steps that are going to be taken, and is the company going to survive? Are the people going to be okay?
We reached out to WTS Paradigm management and staff for comment and additional information. We have not been able to reach anyone at this time, but we will be sure to keep you updated with the latest in this developing situation. Back to you.
All right, Jamie Perez joining us live from the News Center. Drew, with a lot of questions that a lot of law enforcement officers are trying to piece together as this investigation really begins in earnest here in Middleton. We will continue our coverage of this workplace shooting here at WTS Paradigm in Middleton in just a couple of minutes. And right before your first alert forecast, you will hear from some of the people in the area near WTS when the shooting happened. Our coverage continues in a moment.
We have new information into our newsroom as a highly anticipated concert at Stevens Field has been canceled for tonight.
The Counting Crows tweeted, due to weather, unforeseen circumstances, and safety, the show tonight in Madison has been canceled. Refunds will be given at point of purchase. The Madison Police Department says it did not order the concert to be canceled, and they do not know why the Counting Crows decided to cancel. There is also a developing situation today in Monona. One person was shot on a Madison Metro bus, and police are still looking for the shooter.
Madison police received a call just before 4 o'clock this afternoon for someone shot on the bus at Flom Road and Monona Drive. Police say a 16-year-old suspect was showing the firearm to the victim when the gun went off. A 17-year-old male is being treated at the hospital for non-life-threatening injuries. Lockdowns at La Follette High School, Senate Middle School, and Monona Grove High School have all been lifted. Because this incident happened after school hours, the schools were not full. We'll continue to update you on this developing story on channel3000.com.
But now back to the very difficult day today in Middleton, where a gunman opened fire on a Middleton business.
4 people were shot, including the shooter, who was killed by officers. Middleton police say those victims are in serious condition, but so far, none are dead. This happened at WTS Paradigm near the Greenway Station Shopping Center, and officers say he was an employee at WTS. Police arrived within minutes and shot the suspect, who later died at the hospital. News 3's Eric Franke joins us live from the scene with more information right now. Eric?
That's right, Charlotte and Susan. We are still here live on the scene in the 1800 block of Deming Way. WTS Paradigm just a couple of hundred yards behind us here. And I think one of the big stories, as we heard Chief Chuck Folk say out of the Middleton Police Department today, is going to be the response time. 10:26, that initial call came in of an active shooter situation here at WTS Paradigm. Within 8 minutes, they had not only arrived, but they had engaged this shooter. 2 Dane County deputies, 2 Middleton officers firing on the suspect, who we understand was also returning fire. That gunman later succumbing to his injuries, dying at a local hospital. As you mentioned, the 4 individuals who were injured, one of them simply walked in themselves to St. Mary's. They were treated and released for minor injuries, but 2 others are in serious condition, 1 in critical condition, and everyone's thoughts, of course, are with those individuals at this time. But also, what an amazing scene. This had to be a terrible, tragic thing that no one wants to have to endure for all of these workers. More than 100 of them, we understand, at WTS Paradigm, who were in that, we don't know if they were all in the building, but that's roughly how many people that this company employs, more than 100. And many of them then had to go on and talk to law enforcement. So there was a setup not far from here at the Marriott West, just across Greenway Boulevard here, where family members could reunify with their with people that worked here in case they needed to know if they were okay. And that's where our Rose Schmidt has spent the last several hours. She joins us now with the very latest on what's happening over there. Rose?
People who live and work in this area, but luckily this hotel opened its doors for anyone who wanted to reconnect with their family members. They closed the center just about an hour ago, but we saw about a dozen or so people who wanted to use this center. They did not wish to speak with us, but they did talk to officials with the Department of Justice about what happened. We spoke with one woman who works at an engineering business on Deming Way near the scene. She says her workplace does not do active shooter training. She described to us the moment when she and her coworkers heard those gunshots, something she said could be straight out of a nightmare.
Scared, nervous, you know, not knowing what's going on, you know, what to expect. You know, is it one person, 2 people, is it, you know, an employee mad, you know, going off on somebody else.
Marlene says she stayed put until police came. They evacuated her and the people in her office, and when she went outside, she saw blood splattered and a person covered in blood being loaded into an ambulance. Now, she says one of the first things she did was make sure to call her family and tell them that she was okay. And she says she and her coworkers actually also called the company's leadership to tell them what happened and make sure they all knew that their coworkers were okay. All right, I'm going to send it back to you now.
All right, Rose Schmidt reporting live from the Marriott West, where a lot of families obviously working their way through this. It's going to be difficult for many of them. There are support services that are being offered to a lot of these folks that'll help them get through this in the days and weeks ahead. We want to mention we'll have continuing coverage of this event here today in Middleton tonight on News 3 at 10 as this investigation continues. We mentioned Amy Reed live on the West Side. We'll have more on what perhaps authorities have unearthed in that investigation, at least that portion tonight. More coverage on News 3 at 10. Stay tuned. Coming up next, your First Alert forecast. Stay with us.
We have alert days in the forecast for tonight and for tomorrow for the potential for some heavy rain as well as some severe weather threat. Best chances will be late tonight into early tomorrow morning, and then a round of thunderstorms late tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening could bring high winds and hail. Flash flood watch in effect west of a Platteville to Lone Rock to Wisconsin Dells line through 1 p.m. tomorrow. Doppler track pretty quiet right now. The rain from this afternoon has moved off to the east. More storms are firing up in Minnesota and Iowa and will be heading eastward. Tomorrow, the severe weather threat is highest to our north, but we can't rule out at least a couple of isolated severe thunderstorms around here. Again, mainly late tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. Live view from the Edgewater Skycam in downtown Madison. Pretty cloudy out there. Our high temperature only made it up to 67 after starting out at 55. Right now, we're at 66 degrees. Winds out of the east at 6 miles per hour. The dew point temperature at 63. Our forecast for tonight calls for that flash flood watch for our western viewers through 1 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. 63 for the overnight low temperature. Areas of fog forming and then showers and thunderstorms, especially later on tonight. Tomorrow, the showers and storms ending in the morning. Then high of 84 as skies turn partly sunny, but some thunderstorms north of Madison could pop up late in the afternoon. If so, those would become severe. Overnight, the best chances for showers and thunderstorms late tonight into tomorrow morning. Those lift to the north. You can see the sunshine returning. The northern parts of our viewing area, that would be the area to watch out for any thunderstorms in the afternoon. Then tomorrow night, a line of thunderstorms moves through along with the cold front. Following the passages of the cold front, much cooler weather moves in for Friday. Rainfall amounts generally in the 1 to 2 inch range, but localized amounts in excess of 3 inches are possible in some of the heavier thunderstorms. 7 to 10 day forecast, those temperatures turn much cooler for the weekend. Highs only mid 60s for Saturday, low 70s for Sunday, and then some thunderstorm chances Tuesday with much cooler weather at the end of next week. We'll be right back.
Some area Wisconsin fans might have a split allegiance when the Badgers travel to Iowa Saturday night. Former Monona Grove star Torrin Young's going to be suiting up for the Hawkeyes. Young's taken a big jump from his freshman to sophomore season, leading the team in carries, rushing yards, and yards per carry. Young said it'll be fun playing against the team he grew up watching, and he knows there might be some people wearing an Iowa bracelet or something with their Wisconsin T-shirt.
There's some teachers and coaches and stuff from high school, and they'll say, oh, well, I hope you do good, but so they're still rooting for the Badgers, but that's okay.
Badgers quarterback Alex Hornibrook said he heard a lot of his teammates talking about how they're not used to losing, but said the best thing they can do is play again. Hornibrook played in Iowa City 2 years ago when the Badgers won in a day game. Saturday night, the Big Ten opener is going to be a monster night game as both teams try to take the early lead in the Big Ten West.
I think it's a great opportunity for us to have a game against a team like this, where it's you know, a team that we're always battling against, a team we've played for a while. So I think it's a great opportunity for us to finally get out there and play again. It definitely is a you know, rivalry road game, so it's going to be a fun one.
The Packers defense was pretty lights out against the Vikings for 3 quarters. Minnesota scored 22 fourth-quarter points to force the overtime and give everyone that tie we all crave. One of the biggest reasons for the Packers getting the Vikings off track was getting to the quarterback. Defensive tackle Kenny Clark says the key moving forward is playing the same way all 4 quarters.
We got to just finish and keep that going. But I love the direction that we're in right now, and we can make some plays, and you know, we can hold our gaps. We can defend the pass, and we can get after the passer. So we got to just be consistent and finish all 4 quarters.
Winning time, week 2 of the Pro Pigskin Pick'em. This week's winner is Tom Irwin of Wanakee. Tom gets a $100 gift card to Christie's Landing on Lake Wabisa. To play, log on to channel3000.com, go to entertainment, and click on contests. Prep Mania game of the week time. Sun Prairie's trying to chase down Madison Memorial in the race for the Big 8 title. They have to get past Madison La Follette Friday night, 7 o'clock, channel3000.com and TVW. And stick around for Prep Mania with Melissa Kim right here at 10 o'clock. The Cardinals trying to catch the Brewers in the NL wildcard race. The Braves helping out the crew this afternoon. Freddie Freeman hits just about anything you'll throw up there. 2-run shot gets the Braves started. They would win 7-3. The Brewers now lead the wild card by 2.5 over the Cardinals. Brewers and Reds play at Miller Park tonight, 6:40. Last night, the Baltimore Orioles wore Braille jerseys. First time it's happened in American pro sports. It's the 40th anniversary of the National Federation of the Blind moving its headquarters to Baltimore. Fans also got a Braille card, which would take me forever to learn. They lost the game, which they've been doing a lot this year, 6-4 to the Blue Jays. But I think those jerseys are absolutely terrific with the front and the back. A blind gentleman sang the national anthem. A cool night at Camden Yards in Baltimore for sure.
All right, Kevin, thank you.
Kevin.
All right, final check with Gary.
Watching some showers and thunderstorms across Minnesota and Iowa heading eastward. Those will be with us overnight tonight. Some of those could bring gusty winds, some hail, and heavy rainfall. Rainfall over the next day and a half, perhaps 1 to 3 inches, some localized heavier amounts. Once the showers and storms move through tomorrow and tomorrow night, look for much cooler weather for the weekend. Brief warm up early next week, and then more cool weather toward the end of the week.
All right, thank you. We will have an update on our top stories from the day tonight on News 3 at 10.
Download the new Channel 3000 app and get alerted on your mobile device the minute news breaks. Wherever you go, be the first to know with Channel 3000.